Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Press Play Lifestyle Inspired podcast, where we do interviews with inspirational and interesting people like our new friend here, Matt, on topics to help our listeners, that's you, find the resources, tools, and support that they might need to be their best inspired self. So how are you doing today? I heard maybe crispy was a good descriptor.
Yeah, that's the word that we use. Feeling a little rough this morning. I told you we have a fire pit last night and had a few drinks. I didn't sleep much, so this should be interesting. But no, we'll be fine. We'll be fine.
We'll be fine.
We're professionals.
Right? We're professionals. I love it. I had
Thanks
this
for
girlfriend.
having me, by the way.
You're welcome. Yeah, thanks so much for getting up and doing this after a fun night. So why don't you just tell the audience, if you could, just like who you are and what you're doing right now, if that works out for you.
Sure. Well, I'm Matt Westin, country recording artist from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. It's where I am right now. And I really just started doing that a few years ago. And there's a long story behind that, which I'm sure we'll get into. But right now, I'm kind of like everybody else. Everything's put on hold temporarily. I was supposed to be recording an album last week in Nashville at Sony, and that got pushed. I'm not sure when. Probably this summer. I don't know. I haven't really been working either, so the budget constraints are starting to hit. So
I suspect
we'll figure it out.
I suspect they are. You know, the good news is it's giving you like more sad stuff to write songs about, I guess. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. I guess music and pain kind of go together sometimes. It's weird.
Yeah, it is.
I'm choking on coffee. I'm supposed to be using my arm to cover my mouth.
Yeah, and you keep touching your face. Like, I'm like, it affects everybody. I'm just, and you have a beard that's gonna stick in there. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, I know. Well, I can't infect myself.
This is true. And we can't do it through the waves, so that's good.
That's true, that we know of.
One of the things, like, there's a lot of things that were very interesting about you, and your I want to say your manager Michael kind of sent us over some prep so that I wouldn't look quite so stupid when I was interviewing a rock star, a country music rock star as it is. But he did say that you, and you just mentioned it, you haven't always been recording your music, right? So you had a different career path not too long ago. And could you tell us a little bit about, what you were doing just a few short years before you decided to put on Johnny Cash t-shirts?
Yeah, got this at like Target or something, but I love it. Anyways, yeah, it's been kind of an interesting winding path to where I am now. I was an engineer for about 6 years, working in a cubicle, miserable, paperwork, and just didn't really have a good experience where I was at anyways. Kind of traumatized, actually. I still have nightmares, to be honest with you. But I was an engineer. I wasn't happy. And, well, I lost my job, and I decided that I wasn't going back to it. I was going to pursue more passions of the heart, and so I was pursuing music and acting on the side as like hobbies at the time. And I decided, you know what, I'm going to go full steam ahead with the things that I like. So I ended up moving to Los Angeles. I was pursuing acting, and I never really got settled in Los Angeles because my dad got sick roughly when I moved out there, and almost a year to the day of signing the lease in North Hollywood, my father passed away. So as you could imagine, I was devastated. I mean, look, there's a million words that come to mind, but it was a very dark time for me, and I lost myself, basically. I was raw. I didn't know what I was going to do. I didn't know what life looked like. I was angry. I was bitter. I was just a mess. And well, I moved back to Pittsburgh. I had to be with family. So I figured engineering's in the rearview mirror. Acting, I seemed to have left on the West Coast, and I didn't know what I was going to do. And it just kind of hit me one day, like they say, I had an epiphany. Um, I I just knew in my heart that I had to pursue music. My dad had always he'd always encouraged my singing. He loved my singing, and he was my biggest fan, biggest supporter. And I figured, what better way to honor his legacy than to do this and dedicate it to him. So that's what I did, and I named my album Legacy to honor his memory. But I didn't really realize how I was starting my own legacy, and it really gave my life a new direction, a new purpose and passion. And it was a huge part of my healing process from losing my dad. So the music really was part of my I picked myself up off the ground, literally. I was a mess, and music, between God, family, and music, really, um, it put my life back together in a whole new way. And I guess I'm just one example, a small example of how you can really turn a tragedy into triumph if you try, and you just got to try. And a couple years ago, my father passed away. It'll be 4 years. It was 4 years, yeah. So I've only been pursuing music professionally for about 3 years, and here we are. I have awards. I've been heard all over the planet. I'm on jukeboxes. I've interviewed with people in every country I can think of, and it's really cool. And it's really bittersweet, though, because it came out of such a darkness, but the light that came at the end of it, and continues to build, is it's an inspiration, I guess. I've been inspiring people to take some risks and you know never give up. It's kind of neat. I never expected that, and it's kind of a beautiful thing. I know my dad's proud. I know he's smiling down, and I just hope it continues. And interviews like this, talking with people, and getting a positive message out. It really feels good. So thanks for having me again, and especially in a time like this when things are so crazy. So
Yeah, I think it's times like these when things are so crazy that it's good for people to hear that, trials to triumph type stories, because a lot of
yeah,
people, like you said, that financially, nobody expected this. Your energy didn't expect this. You're supposed to be, living your dream, recording the album that you spent all this time on, but you're still
yeah,
hanging in there. You're still doing the thing, right? Still getting it done.
yeah. I mean, I was supposed to be in Nashville the 28th of April. I guess that was last week.
Yeah.
I forget what date is half the time anymore, but I was supposed to be recording at Sony my new album, and that unfortunately had to be postponed. And I'm not sure exactly when I'm going to reschedule. I know that they're opening up very soon, and you know they're getting booked up fast. But
But
my budget isn't where I thought it would be right now, obviously. So we'll see. Maybe this summer we'll record the new album, or at least maybe another single or something, just to
keep the
get my face
momentum.
out there again with some fresh material. So, and I do have a few songs already now recorded that I could release. So thinking about that.
Yeah, a couple singles, that'd be a pretty cool deal. Yeah. So it was very interesting for me when we did a little prep before this, because we had a couple odd things in common. One is both being
Yeah.
kind of engineers and pursuing something different, and the other is my dad actually passed about a year ago, and
Um,
and I was sad like when I first found out, but he was my biggest fan too, you know, and he would always tell me, no matter what I did, he thought I was like the best at it, no matter what.
yeah.
You have to like, it was
Yeah.
suspect because he always thought I was the best, but it was still nice to have that, um and I just still do. I've decided that it doesn't go away just because he doesn't say it every day. So it's a
Right.
nice change. Um,
Right.
so with all that being said, you said you left acting on the West Coast, but
Thought I did. Yeah. Yeah, but I thought I did. It's just kind of weird how things come full circle sometimes. Uh, I began pursuing acting, boy, I don't know. It's been a long time. I've been interested in it since I was a little kid. Um, we opened up a time capsule when we graduated high school that we put together in like first grade, and that was really neat. But the one thing it said I wanted to be when I grow up, when I was in first grade, said actor, and my favorite actor was Bruce Lee at the
Nice.
time. um,
Nice.
and so I was like, wow, this has always been a part of me. Why haven't I really pursued it? Um, I was just kind of never took it seriously. But anyways, I dabbled in it. I had an independent film company with a few guys for a few years, and met a lot of cool people in that process. Well, fast forward about 8 years after uh, dissolving the company, and 4 years after moving away from Los Angeles, a friend of mine calls up and says, "Hey, there's this movie we're doing, and they are casting someone to play Johnny Cash, small part in the film. I suggested you." So I was like, absolutely, have them call me. They all called, the producer called me, and I just so happened to have a recording of myself singing Folsom Prison Blues, and sent it to them. And within an hour, it was unanimous. The producers, the director, uh, I was the only one they even auditioned for the role. I got the role. So my pursuits back almost a decade ago brought acting back into my life and fused it with the music I'm pursuing now, and it's all just full circle. And I have goosebumps, really, literally
Yeah,
right now.
I do too, which is weird because I think it's cold. I'm in Wisconsin.
Oh yeah, that might be it. That
Yeah.
might be it. But yeah, it's really neat when you look back and try and connect the dots, that you really don't see the big picture until you're looking back at it. And that's just another example of a reason not to give up on things, because
Yeah.
you never know where it's going to lead. And now I have a role as one of my idols, in a pretty major film. It's millions. It's multi-million-dollar project. So,
So
and
when is the film coming?
what's that?
When's your film coming?
We didn't film it yet. Um,
Oh, so still
it's,
a lot of work to do.
yeah, it's ready to go. Once they get the final budget into place, we'll be ready to go. Cameras up in I think they said 60 days or something,
Mhm.
40 days. So
Your
we're gonna,
whole life is gonna turn back on
yeah,
at
yeah,
one time. Boom.
yeah, pretty much. It's gonna be overwhelming.
You better
Uh,
continue to have some of those fire pit nights because you're gonna like be exhausted from all the acting and singing and
oh,
you
I
know.
love it though.
Tell
That's
your
all right.
girlfriend to get ready. She's got some fun stuff. She's gonna have to fight all those girls off you.
Oh, I know. She's made comments about that
Of course
before.
she
She's
has. Of
worried
course she
about it.
every female knows when they have a good catch. We gotta keep an eye out for that. So it
Yeah,
sounds like you've had like just this really crazy ride
yeah,
that's kind of landing you in this really interesting place where everything's connecting.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
if you could give either, your old self or the audience some advice, because it
Mhm.
sounds like you're where you should be versus, not that I like shoulding on people, but
Yeah,
maybe engineering wasn't exactly your calling.
right. Well, I mean,
What advice would you give to people?
I look back and I think, I lost a lot of time there. I wish I would have done this differently. Um, and engineering seemed like kind of a waste of time. But when I really think about it, it's part of my journey,
Yeah.
and it's part of what makes me who I am. And maybe my music wouldn't work out. Maybe it wouldn't be the same. It's just part of my journey.
Yeah.
So I've come, I've made peace with that. But if I could tell myself something back then, I would say get started sooner on your passions. You know, don't waste time, because it flies by, and you're gonna wish that you gave it a shot. Because I failed at engineering. Um, I mean, that may be a little bit of a harsh term, but that didn't work out for me, um, and I didn't like it anyways.
Yeah.
So why not try something that you do like? If you fail at something you don't like, I mean, take the risk. Take the risk. Do something that you're passionate about. At least even as a hobby, just to get started. You never know where it's going to lead. Just like I was dabbling in karaoke and singing with my cousin's band, or making little short films and stuff. And now here I am in an actual film playing an icon. I got 2 songs on the soundtrack, and I'm an international recording artist. And it only took a couple years for me of just being myself, honestly, just saying enough's enough. I'm going to do what I want to do. So, because I was always a people pleaser. I was always the one, I did what I was supposed to do. And that's how you waste a lot of time, honestly. So don't waste time. Don't waste time at all. And now, hey, we're all locked in, kind of, and we've all this time in the world to start practicing or start learning something or pursuing a passion. So don't waste any more time. You don't know how much time you have left.
Yeah, you never know what you have left, right?
Yeah.
That's a really great piece of advice. And so I would say you're a recovering people pleaser.
Mm-hmm.
How did you sort of dig out of that? Because that's like, I see that a lot. I see that a lot, especially with people who are very heart-centered. They always are doing for others, and sometimes they get lost in that mix. So was there something that helped you kind of break out of that people-pleasing shell?
It was continued frustration that made me kind of take a step back and reflect on what I was doing and why I was doing it, and realizing that my passions, my ideas, what I want matters just as much as what somebody else wants. I'm not going to tell them what to do with their life. Why should they tell me what to do with mine? So I just got frustrated, and I had to admit to myself that I was, I guess, it's kind of like making excuses, to be honest, because, oh, this is what I'm supposed to do. And it's kind of like a cop out. It's a cop out. And I didn't let myself cop out. I said, this is my life, and I'm going to try and make it my life. And, I don't have the money that I had when I was an engineer, the stability, but I'm healthier, I'm happier, and I feel like I'm doing something with meaning, with purpose. And in the process, I'm actually helping other people that I never thought that would happen, but music is powerful. So, it's been a really interesting ride for me. And I'm kind of wondering where it's going now after this. It's going to be kind of a different world after all this is over, I think. And what a heck of a time to get into live music, huh? Like, venues open, and
But
I don't even have a band at the moment. And where would we play if I did? So it's like, this is a little confusing, but I would still say I'm proud and glad I did it.
Yeah. What's interesting about that, though, is I don't know how it came up or where I'd heard it, but we'd started taking music out of schools. We've started taking art out of schools. We've taught to God out of schools. We've done all these things.
Yeah.
But when everyone got locked in the house, what do you think they turned to?
Yeah. They turned to faith. They turned to the artists. They turned to the people that are going to.
And who showed up, right? Right? Who showed up? The artists. Like, you see all these like midday live shows then that's how they make their living, right? That's how you make your living. And they're like, you know what? That music is healing. And so maybe what comes out of this is a reigniting of the appreciation of the need for the arts and the need for that side of us. And we stop taking advantage of the fact that it's part of who we are. And so we can't take everything out of school and out of life and expect life to still have meaning.
Right. Yeah, that's beautifully put. And hopefully that is one of the silver linings of all this.
Well, just make it so. You've got a beautiful voice. Just keep singing. People keep
Thanks.
hearing
I'm
you.
gonna keep
Right?
going. Don't worry. I don't want to let my dad down, so.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for taking the time with us. And I really appreciate you telling us your story, and you're very inspirational, even if right now you might not feel that way and you're kind of wondering what's next.
Don't,
But it sounds like there's always something more exciting on the horizon for you, whether you see it or not. So I'll be looking to see what that looks like next.
yeah, me too. I just trust that, God has a plan, and I'm going to do the best that I can with what I have. So.
Yeah. So where can people find your music or find out about you? Just so we'll make sure everything's in the show notes too. But where would you like people to find out about you?
The easiest place to find out about me is at mattwestin.com, and it has links on there to all my music and my bio and some pictures, and I think it has my Facebook, my Twitter, my Instagram. Everything's right there on my website at mattwestin.com. And my music's all over. It's on iTunes, Amazon, Spotify, you name it, and also on AMI jukeboxes. So.
Nice. Yeah, I checked you out on Spotify, and I think you have got a fun like country rock and roll sort of vibe going, I think, which is more like now country. Although I was raised on like some good old Garth Brooks or Patsy Cline or Reba McEntire, but I like some of the new stuff too. So it's
I try to bridge the gap. I don't like all the new stuff, and I do love the old stuff. So I try to bridge the gap and add a little bit of testosterone to it. And
yeah, you're right, because I don't know which track it was, but I pulled it up and at first and I was like, oh, okay, a little bit of rock. No, that's not rock and roll. That's country. All right, let me see how this goes. So it was really fun.
Cool.
It was great getting to know you, and thanks for sharing your music with us.
My pleasure. Thank you. Thank you.
Have a great day.
You too. Thank you. Take care.
At the hitching post side by side, gravel lot full of four-wheel drives. Bud Light sign says 50-cent wings, throwing darts in the back is where you find me. Stomp on, stomp on, stomp on into my stomping grounds. Come on, let me show you around. Stomp on into my stomping grounds. Stomp on, stomp on, stomp on into my stomping grounds. Come on. My stomping grounds. Let me show you around. Where you find me. Mike behind the bar knows everyone's drink. Becky's showing off a brand new ink. My second cousin Kenny plays bass in the band. They're about to go on. Let's find a place to stand. Stomp on, stomp on, stomp on into my stomping grounds. Come on, let me show you around. Stomp on into my stomping grounds. Stomp on, stomp on, stomp on into my stomping grounds. Come on, let me show you around. Stomp on into my stomping grounds. It's just a hole in the wall with a neon glow where everybody around here sure likes to go. To throw it down, crank it up, and let the good times didn't break. Just a couple of rowdy renegades. When we blew it up, tore it down like Jesse James had come back around. Getting caught, getting high, I took your blame and you took mine. Saying, hey bro, I got your back. Dare anybody to go jacking with that. No, hey bro, I know you got mine. Yeah, some things run thicker than a bloodline. Got you covered, my brother, from another mother. Down any back road you might go. Hey oh, hey oh, hey oh, hey oh, hey oh, hey oh. Hey bro, hey oh, hey oh, hey oh. Gotta say, beats me how we made it through alive, but here we are, living the life. A little bit smarter, but we're slight sometimes. So we go for broke, pay the cost. Always said we were cut out of the same cloth. Some things never change, and here's one more